fans, we're back for this episode of Sports Chat. The big 20th episode.
Woo, 20th anniversary.
Woo!
This for so long. There's 20 more.
Maybe, hopefully more than that.
We talk about Campbell County sports and all that, but UT football is cranking on two different levels right now.
Oh yeah.
We're still getting commitments in, and practice is going on.
Yep, we're full pad practice. Some changes around a little bit. Rajon Neal, backup running back, really speedy, fast guy. Been playing him some at the slot at wide receiver. Looking like he may be a third down back. Probably going to use Hull most of the carries. Maybe line him up though, just because he had high 4.2, low 4.3 speed. Try to get his speed on the field, so we're going to line him up in the slot. He's a wide receiver.
He's a talented athlete. So
Coach Dewey's been raving about Martin Lane at running back too, so maybe he'll be the backup running back. They may move Neal full time to wide receiver at some point. But the offensive line depth is great right now. No injuries.
Tyler Bray is.
Bray's looking really nice.
You can tell he's been in the gym a little bit.
Yeah. So I heard a story this week about a lot of players who gained a little weight. Bray, I think they said, was up to 207 pounds. Still slim for a guy who's 6'5", but considering he weighed about
190 last year.
185, 190 last year. That's a pretty big increase. Justin Hunter, another really slender guy. He good at going up and getting the ball. Didn't take contact as well last year. He's gained about 10 or 12 pounds.
Maybe they should start hanging out with us. They gain weight that way.
Maybe not the kind of weight Coach Dooley wants them
He's
to.
going to work out and eat a lot. That's fine. He
Well,
least like the working out part.
Well, they can come eat a lot and then go work out.
Maybe we should work out
Probably should.
while eating.
Yes.
Rick Rogers, they say he's built like Terrell Owens now.
That's good.
6'3", 225, 230 pound wide receiver, really fast. And I heard Coach Dooley on the radio say that he looks like T.O. with his shirt off. And Terrell Owens, he's a head case, but he was built like he was going out of granite.
Here's the crazy thing about T.O. is, I've read about his workout program. He uses mostly resistance bands. Very little in the way of actual weight training.
Quite a few crunches when he's being interviewed by reporters.
Yes.
But, that's encouraging. If the offensive line can hold up with the receivers we have, and if Bray keeps his head on straight, we could be a really good offense.
Now, on the defensive side, unfortunately right now, Malik Jackson, probably our best defensive lineman, has tweaked his knee, and he's going to be out for a week or two.
Yeah, shouldn't miss any game time, but practice time is valuable. But fortunately, in this case, Malik is a veteran, knows what's going on, knows where he needs to be, and he's a playmaker. I think he'll be back. Hopefully, be fine. If nothing else, we do play Montana the first week of the season, so
hopefully it won't be.
Now, I'll say this about Montana: they're a really good 1AA team. I mean, you saw what happened to Michigan against Appalachian State.
Right.
Virginia Tech got beat by a 1AA team last year. James Madison or somebody like that.
Mm-hmm.
It was a 1AA team. Montana played for the 1AA National Championship a couple of years ago, and they're in I believe, third in the preseason poll.
In fact, I remember watching Montana play for the 1AA championships held in Chattanooga every year.
It was in Chattanooga where they played.
Maybe we should go down there for it this year. Get some total coverage.
But good program for 1AA.
Yeah, I mean, Appy State was a 1AA.
I'm not saying that we should lose to Montana under any circumstance, but it wouldn't surprise me if it wasn't a 50-0 game like our opener last year against the 1AA team. Because Montana, there's good fans. They'll have some fans at the game. Good program. So they're a powerhouse in 1AA. Actually, they beat Appy State the year Appy State beat Michigan.
Saying a lot. I mean,
that was a great game.
I did enjoy that. I like watching Michigan get beat.
Yeah.
Of course, now on the upside for the Vols, the secondary.
Secondary is
looking pretty darn good.
Jensen Jackson's back. He's just dominating in practice right now. Really can't say enough good things about him.
Prentice Wagner.
Wagner, I'm pretty sure Wagner is not running with the second team right now.
But in a nickelback situation.
Well, the thing about it, he's not starting for Tennessee, but he's on the All SEC third team
Yeah.
preseason. So, you know, he's looked at that highly, and he's not even a starter on this team. That's how loaded the secondary is. Big problem, linebacker. We have very little depth at linebacker.
And we have an injury at linebacker right now.
Rather's injured. I can't remember his name right now. Should have remember it. Freshman has came in and made a big impact. And has actually run with the first team in practice today. He's, sorry, I can't remember. He's 6'2", 230, 235. They expect eventually he's going to be one of those Leonard Little type linebacker defensive ends. But, you know, he showed some good work in practice enough to get on the first team. Defensive line, we're going to need a few people to step up on the defensive line, especially at tackles. Defensive ends, if Martin and a few other guys can stay healthy, we should be pretty decent at the defensive end spot.
Well, it's crazy to think that, you know, Malik Jackson's a defensive end that got moved to tackle.
He did gain, yeah, he made a successful transition to gain up 290 or so. He was about 260 when he was playing defensive end at USC. But, you know, we got good defensive ends, we could have a good defensive line. A big concern about anywhere outside of the offensive line is depth. You know, we get a little bit of wide receiver depth, but not a lot.
Got a little bit of running back.
Running back depth, you know, because Lane is a freshman, and Neal's pretty good. So he's very fast, looking to get in the offense. So we got some decent running back depth. Quarterback depth, you have Sims back, who's very experienced, but sketchy on, you know, how skilled he is at quarterback. You know, he tries really hard, but there's a reason Ray replaced him last year.
But, you know,
But it's
he could get in and manage the ship
it
if he
wouldn't be
had
a
to.
complete disaster. Defense, we cannot afford to have Malik Jackson injured. We can't afford to have Herman because that's our two weakest spots already. And we have injuries on the defensive front and
The arguable best players at each position too.
yeah. So that's pretty tough to overcome. We got some good news on the recruiting front. 6'3", 300-pound defensive tackle, junior college guy committed this last week. Kicker out of Knoxville.
From West High School.
West High School committed, and the big commitment, Santos, the linebacker from Texas, picked. Many thought he was going to pick Texas A&M, and he picked Tennessee. He's the number 4 rated linebacker in the country. Big, huge gain for Tennessee. Big inside linebacker type guy, 6'2", 240.
Yeah, we've had a tradition of some good linebackers at UT too.
Linebacker was our strongest spot for the last 20 years, probably, besides running back overall. And, you know, you look back, we've had a lot of NFL caliber talent.
I mean, if you just look at the linebacker core that was Al Wilson, Eric Westmoreland, and Raynoch Thompson. What a middle three that was for a defense.
It was pretty hard to handle those guys. You showed in the field, we won 13-0 national championship. But overall, we play a really brutally tough schedule. But
Well, you know, Cincinnati's not necessarily a pushover in our conference.
well, no, I mean Cincinnati played in the BCS Bowl 2 years ago.
So, you know,
12-0 before they lost to Florida.
the
Sugar Bowl.
the other in-state team that we play, MTSU. MTSU is not a slacker team.
I mean, as I said, they're Sun Belt Conference, but I mean they're not a bad team. Like Luke said, they've.
Matter of fact, honestly, I'm actually kind of surprised they've not moved up in
Well, I mean, you know, they've been slowly in the process of it. They moved
Because-
from a 1AA to a
because really
BCS level.
the last several years, honestly, they've had. I mean, far as just the college size, they're actually bigger than UT.
They're the biggest college in the state.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Still have the SEC 8 tough games to play in the
Yeah.
SEC.
I mean, we have from the Western Conference, of course, we've got Alabama, we've got LSU and Arkansas.
That's pretty much in Alabama and LSU, 2 of the top 5 teams in the country.
Yeah.
2 of the top 3 teams in the country in most polls. Because it's Oklahoma, LSU, and Alabama are usually the top 3 I've been seeing. But
And of course,
Arkansas is expected to be in the top 15. And you Have Florida still at Florida.
And South Carolina.
South Carolina, who's actually picked to win the East. Georgia, who's favored to be second in the East, I believe. Georgia has a lot of talent stuff. Mark Richt is Philip Fulmer light. He's Philip Fulmer without the national championship and 150 pounds. Because, you know, he gets the talent that Fulmer used to get all the time out of Georgia now and doesn't win at that level he should with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing the level of talent that's come to Georgia.
And you look now, you know, you look 10 years ago when we were sending the quarterback to the NFL, we were sending the top receivers to the NFL, and the top running backs to the NFL, and random defensive players too. Now it's Georgia doing that. You know, Georgia's sending Matthew Stafford to be a starting quarterback after his rookie season. Georgia's
Was it Sanchez? Was he not at Georgia? The quarterback for the Jets?
he was at USC.
Oh.
Yeah.
Never mind. Forget I said anything.
Well, they had AJ Green, the receiver. He was a top 10 draft pick this year. Noshawn Reno, starting running back in Denver. You know, that's a lot of talent has been going through Georgia the last few years, and they have nothing to show for it. A bunch of 8, 9 win seasons. Rick's on the hot seat. This, you know, honestly, I think if he doesn't win the East this year, there's a chance he's going to get fired, especially if he pulls out another one of these, you know, 8 and 5 kind of years.
And you know, also, you know, you figure we got Kentucky and Vanderbilt. I mean, we've not necessarily. I mean, we've actually lost to Vandy.
Unfortunately, we lost to Vanderbilt.
Fortunately, we still have our record intact against Kentucky.
You know, that's the longest winning streak in the country right now with one team over another team. And honestly, if Kentucky didn't beat us last year, unless there's some divine intervention for them, I don't see it happening this year.
No.
And last year probably was their chance if they were going to get to it.
That's a terrible state.
So unfortunately, we've had to make that same statement a couple of times. We had to make it last year. Well, Kentucky was actually pretty good last year, and we were not that good. And then, of course, Fulmer's last year, we lost to Wyoming, then immediately beat Kentucky next week.
Right. Yeah.
But, you know, I can see us landing anywhere between 7 to 10 wins, somewhere in that range. I would hope we do no worse than win 7 games. And if we win 10 games, that'd be a really great coaching job that wouldn't just blow me away.
And, you know, Dooley, he's just so old school coaching wise. I mean, you can tell he's a product of an SEC family. You know, he got his college experience outside the SEC.
Right.
Dooley's a good coach. I think, you know, I like that Saban tie, the fact that he went to Louisiana Tech, and, you know, people always Louisiana Tech, Louisiana Tech was always one of the worst teams in the country every year. They were everybody's homecoming game. You went out and
I remember when UT would play them.
UT beat them 70-3 the last time they played. That was just the team they were. They're everybody's homecoming game. They weren't even that good in their own conference.
They were the Campbell County of college football for a while.
I think they may have been in the WAC or something like that. Something crazy. A conference you wouldn't even think they should be in, because they were so geographically out of it. But, you know, they would win 1 game, maybe 2 games in a year. If they played 1 double A team, whatever, get a win. Dooley took them to their first bowl game in 30 years or something like that.
As both their head coach and athletic director. It's tough to wear 2 hats.
Especially those 2.
Speaking of athletic directors, I hear that UT's still looking to hire a vice chancellor of athletics. That's actually what I think they're calling the position now. So
I could be vice chancellor of athletics. That sounds like an awesome title to have. I'm telling you, just if you give me a call, I would come over.
Luke is flexible on salary.
I'm flexible on salary. I'm telling you, I would come.
$15 an hour and 3 bologna sandwiches a day, fried with onion. I'm a good negotiator.
I also want tomato.
He will get on the phone, call up people asking for money all day long.
I will literally bang on the telephone for people to give money to the UT Athletics.
And of course, the search is going nowhere right now because Gator Jimmy Cheek is on vacation. So Joan Cronin's still steering the ship, and you know what? I mean, I realize she's just managing it, but credit to Joan Cronin. I mean, And she's handled it better than I thought she would.
And actually, technically, she's still over the women's too, right?
Well, yeah, but they're combining finally the
They
athletic
are
departments.
right, but currently,
Yeah.
she's doing both, which no one at UT's done ever.
There's just not a lot to do over there. The athletic director really is.
I mean, you're a fundraiser.
You raise funds,
In fact,
take the blame when something
I would-
goes wrong.
I would even go so far as saying I will stand up for UT in BCS bowling. I think we should have better bowls than we have been, and I will be there.
Apparently, that's been the big slam against Mike Hamilton.
And I will be there to say that UT should be, because I realize, for whatever reason, the rest of the country hates UT. I don't understand.
We're not Ohio State. That's why they hate us.
Well, it's
Everybody
odd.
seems to love Ohio State.
It's odd. They
Everybody
actually
hated
hate.
Ohio State.
Actually hate Ohio State.
Usually when you're hated around the country, that means you've been winning.
So
They
you
don't
know
hate
what?
you, but
I would stand up for us. ESPN, I would stand up against them because they're awful because they hate us for whatever reason. See, there we go. I
That's
should
because they're
have
controlled by
all.
Ohio State.
Might be.
And this is nobody hates Vanderbilt that much.
You never hear of all the Vanderbilt football haters. You don't.
There's
Yeah.
not many people sitting around outside of Mississippi that hate, just loathe Mississippi or Mississippi State either.
Yeah. But you call up ESPN right now and ask them why they're not giving UT coverage, and their answer will be because we hate UT.
You can change that.
I could make
Hire the
friends.
man. Hire
It'd be awesome.
He's controlled multinational corporations.
And let's talk about UT baseball for a few minutes. Dave Serrano, he seems to be recruiting well. He's ready to take that program to the next level.
You know, not only I say this too is he's not been here long. He's already out in the community, being a good light for UT.
He loves Knoxville.
I will say this. Knoxville produces really good baseball talent.
Well, yeah,
You know,
Todd Helton,
you got Farragut,
Bubba Trammell.
Bearden, and those guys, they compete for the state championship.
Mm-hmm.
Really.
They've both been ranked nationally too.
And Tennessee, it probably produces more baseball players per capita. Well, right now, a lot of them are going to Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt's the top 10 team going to College World Series. You know, that's what Serrano has to get changed back around to us. I think he will because he's a good manager, good coach. He gets it done, knows what he's doing.
I'm very pleased with him as a hire.
You know, that's the best hire that anybody's made over there in quite a while. Bruce Pearl turned out to be a great hire,
But he was a crapshoot.
but you know,
Right.
you didn't know for sure with him.
Speaking of Bruce, he could be coaching in the NBA D League.
That's got a massive salary on from what I understand compared to what normally coaches make in that league. $500,000 a year.
Yeah.
But they say he's probably going to turn it down because apparently people on TV are offering more money to be a TV announcer.
He's such a colorful character.
If
I
you
mean,
be on TV on that level and make lots of money, why not?
and to segue from Bruce Pearl, Conzo Martin. Players are raving about him.
Yeah.
He is I mean, to come in and take over for the aforementioned Bruce Pearl, just one of the most dynamic personalities in college sports.
Although apparently he's not allowed to have barbecues.
No, you can't have a barbecue scene.
He's not allowed to have a barbecue. So that's bad.
He's coaching right now at the World Games in China, I believe. He's an assistant coach on the USA team. The USA players love it. They say that
Best
he
is probably over there watching.
She probably is. Hello, Best.
We love you, Best.
She's in Thailand.
That's next to China.
They said that,
Yes.
Short drive.
that Martin is teaching them well. I mean, it's like Vanderbilt star player. I can't remember his name, Jeff something. A couple of guys like Darius Luke Miller from Kentucky is playing on the team. They said, Martin is, doing a great job coaching them, making it clear on how they need to run plays. He said that. He's easy to work with. I said he doesn't yell at you a lot, but he said he gets the point across.
He has that powerful presence.
And he said they said when when he tells you how to run a play, you know how to do it after that.
And
Run quickly.
and again, he's not only making a good impact, with the team, with the basketball team, and their sponsors, their people. He is another one. He's getting out into the community. I mean, like his first week here, he was doing stuff with the Boys and Girls Club in Knoxville. He was doing stuff with the Red Cross. I mean, he was out there.
In that regard, Bruce Pearl has just left giant shoes to fill.
Right, he was the king of it. I mean,
So he,
Bruce Pearl he brought so much to the community, so much to the university. He's just
Martin's personality is different. He's not outgoing like Pearl, but you know he's a good coach, and I believe it may take a while because we really are down on some talent right now.
Sure.
You know, strangely enough, I think he'll eventually get it done if there's any patience with it.
I think so too. Well, fans, we've talked UT sports, we talked Campbell County sports. Of course, there's so much going on in the NFL; it's hard to even keep up with. This seems like a good stopping point for the evening. Fans, I hope to see each and every one of you people Friday night at Anderson County, and we'll be back next week with Sean Jesse and Rodney Ellis.
that's gonna be a good one.